everybody. It's Gretchen Farrow, your friendly realtor, and I'm coming with you today with a brand new series that I'm so excited about called Homeschooled by Gretchen Farrell. So most of you know that I am a realtor and I love it. I absolutely love getting people into houses. I love showing houses. I love open houses. I love building wealth through real estate. It's amazing. I am also a formally trained interior designer. I hold a degree from the New York School of Interior Design. And if you know anything about me, you know that's the stuff that comes easy for me. So you and me together redoing a house, either to buy or sell, well, that's just pure magic and fun. But I also have a master's degree in teaching. And this is a series that I've been dreaming about because I really want to become the person that is your go-to person for an education about what's happening in real estate. And we know that this is a long game. It's going to go up, it's going to go down, but I want to provide you with the facts and I want to provide you with some clarity. So I want to tell you a story. I was at my brother's house this weekend for a housewarming party. And I'm not sure if it was because it was a housewarming, but housing was a topic that I was hearing all around me, conversations I wasn't even involved in. 5 or 6 people, I heard them talking about like, oh, well, can you imagine selling your house right now? I mean, where would you move and how could we get anything the way the economy is? And do you think the bubble is going to burst? And so that's actually the first topic that I wanted to do in my new series of Homeschooled. And so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right, so here we are, guys, with my brand new series. Welcome to Homeschool with Gretchen Farrell. And everyone wants to know, is the bubble going to burst? Bum, ba, da, da. What do you guys think? Well, guess what? There are many people who would like it to. In fact, millennials, they now account for 43% of the US home buyers. And a new survey from the Consumer Affairs finds that 78% of Americans think housing crash is coming. In fact, 63% want it to happen, with 84% of Gen Z respondents saying they want a housing bust because it will help them to purchase their own home. First, I think we need to take a look at what is going on in our economy right now. In our global markets, we know they are unstable. We're reading about it. We're reading about the war in Ukraine. We're reading about things that are happening in the UK, in Switzerland, in Germany, in China. Geopolitical developments, inflation, raw materials and energy prices, bottlenecks in the supply chain have all caused very unstable markets. And boy, haven't we seen that just in the last week with our market really shifting. Also, in the US, the Fed is raising interest rates. They're doing it to fight inflation and to slow the economy. And really, they're doing it to balance our market. So, will it burst or will it correct? In my opinion, we're going to correct. In fact, we've already started. And here's why I think we're headed towards a more balanced market. In 70 years, we've only had one housing crash. The housing market caused our economy to crash because of subprime lending. We were loaning to people we just shouldn't have. Now lenders have stopped subprime lending and non-prime risky mortgages. But there are other additional reasons why I believe we are not going to crash. And the 3 main reasons why are inventory, equity, and employment. So I want to talk to you a little bit more about that today. First reason, inventory. We're experiencing historically low inventory. We would need to have 6 months of inventory for a balanced market between buyers and sellers. In Colorado, we currently have a 1.7 months inventory, and nationally we have 3.3 months. And remember, guys, those millennials now account for 43% of home buyers in the US. They are the largest group, and they're going to be for quite some time. The average home age, do you guys want to guess what it is right now, buying a first-time home? It's much higher than I wish it was. It's 32 years old. And so this correction is really going to help them. Second reason is equity. This is actually, I think, the biggest reason why we're not going to have a crash. We now have twice the equity that we had in 2006. We have the strongest buyer credit profile in 20 years, and 37% of all homes in the US are owned free and clear. Isn't that cool, you guys? We have $2 trillion in savings in this country. So if you got in trouble, if you lost your job, or say a medical emergency and you needed money, guess what? you could sell your house, price it correctly, and you're going to get out of that. And think about how much equity you have. Now, we bought this house, our first single family home, the year that the market crashed. In fact, we closed it in August, and the bubble burst in October. So believe me, I know that pain. In fact, that's why I originally left an interior design business to work for seeking more stable work as a teacher. And that was really great work for me while I was raising my children, but I certainly know what that's like. But now I have twice the equity. We have twice the equity in this house that we did when we bought it in 2007. The third reason, employment, and specifically unemployment. Unemployment remains very low. Nationally, the rate is 3.7%, and in Colorado, it is 4.1%. There are 10.1 million jobs available nationally. In other words, if you need work, you can get it. It's not like it's an economy where you're like, well, I want to work, but I just can't. That's just not how it is. So, lastly, let's take a look at what's going on with real estate right now. We are definitely beginning to slow and stabilize. From March to March, year over year price growth was 21%. Now we've seen that slow. And in fact, September to September, it was 8.4. So that gives us a yearly average so far of 12.8% year over year price growth. There was a point in this year where we had a 44% increase in 2 years. That was not sustainable and that was not healthy. And I feel so bad for a lot of first-time home buyers who are told, yes, interest rates are now between 6 and 7%, but I remember when they were 18. Well, maybe you did, but I bet that wasn't coming off of 2 years with 44% price growth. We needed this to stabilize. We were at a point in Colorado where locals, not the people who had moved in from out of state, but only 1 in 4 locals could actually buy a first-time home. We needed this to start to come into balance. Now, what's going to happen going forward? On October 13th, we're going to get our consumer price index for September, and we're going to be able to gauge if inflation is finally slowing. And then on November 2nd, the Fed is going to decide whether they're going to raise either a 0.75 or 0.5 bips, and we're going to see where we end up with our interest rates. Now, yes, things are changing, and buyers, you actually are starting to have the upper hand. We're seeing a lot of negotiating with prices. We're starting to see prices soften. We're starting to see sellers throw in a lot of concessions for closing costs, that type of thing. And sellers, I know you feel really cranky because you're not getting the same price that your neighbors might have got in February and March, but you're sitting on so much equity. So let's price it right. And I say, that real estate is still the best hedge against inflation. Most people will only be able to access stability and wealth through real estate. It is a long game, and more inventory is actually healthier for our market. So if it's the right time for you, if you're having life change, if you're getting married, if you're having a baby, if you're downsizing, if you're moving away, then it's the right time for you. And remember, you hear it in real estate all the time. You marry your house, you date your rate. The rates will come down and we will refinance. I hope you guys enjoyed my first edition of Homeschooled with Gretchen Farrell. And I hope you will come back and visit me often to learn all about what's happening in the real estate market. The next one that I cannot wait to do is on first-time home buying. And I may have some special guests join me so we can really get a great education about what it takes to get into and start building your wealth and building your equity and stop paying 100% interest by renting. And so look forward to that. And remember, I'm here for you. I'm your partner. And until next time, be well. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.